Hallo zusammen. At the time of recording this, I'm celebrating my 10-year channel anniversary on this channel here on YouTube, Definitely German, previously called Vlog Dave and Definitely, and a few other iterations of that. In order to celebrate this, I also thought maybe it's an interesting thing to talk about my most successful video and the story behind it. How did it come about and what do I remember? What do I recall from recording it? So this is sort of a behind the scenes moment for you guys and a trip down memory lane for me and maybe also for you. So let's go. I would like us to picture ourselves back in time. In fact, we're gonna go back to the year 2019. It's late March. I was a trainee for an e-commerce merchant, which back in 2018, 1 year prior, became a totally new traineeship in Germany. Before that, I was studying, and then I thought to myself, you know what? I'm not really feeling that anymore, and I want to do something more practical. And in August of 2018, I became an e-commerce trainee. Why do I mention this? Well, it was in late March of 2019 when I was sitting in the office. A few weeks and days prior to that, I had already seen a few hints on the official Rammstein social media with pictures and not really too much information yet, to be honest. We didn't really know back in the day that this was gonna be the comeback single for the band, Deutschland, right? And then on March 28th, I was sitting in the office, like I said before, and I was, doing my work and everything. And then I saw, 6 p.m. German time, that is. Wow, okay, they're gonna release something. There's gonna be a premiere event on YouTube. I have to tune into that. I didn't have a car back in the day. Still don't have a car. I had to go by train and by bus, multiple stops here and there. And one delay, like a train not departing in time, could have ruined that whole event for me personally. And of course I was stoked because I had been listening to Rammstein at that point for many, many years. I really became a fan of the band in 2004 with their album Reise Reise. Anyway, luckily I made it home in time. I remember that I got home and I didn't really do anything like that I would usually do. Getting myself a cup of coffee and sit down and maybe watch some like Netflix or Let's Play or whatever, something to relax. I didn't do any of that. I didn't even eat something. In fact, the first thing that I did was starting my PC, getting all of the recording equipment ready, including, lights, microphone and whatnot. And I managed to be there a few minutes before the premiere. And I didn't know that this would become, arguably, in my opinion at least, I don't know about you guys, one of the most ambitious, high-quality music videos I've ever seen in my life. And there are many great music videos out there, like Sledgehammer, Peter Gabriel, especially for the time it was created, back in the mid-80s. Great music video, and many, many more. But this one, 9 minutes plus, really telling a cultural, historic storyline in terms of the German history, hints here and there, and also the lyrics of the song, nailing that ambiguity that many Germans feel about their own country. So jung und doch so alt. So young, yet so old. The Federal Republic of Germany that we know today came into existence in 1990. So not too long ago, because West Germany and East Germany, the former GDR, they merged to the Germany that we know today, the reunification, right? What made it even more special is that Deutschland, in fact, was their comeback single, and I think the first new song that they released since they released Mein Land, My Country or My Land, as a single off of their greatest hits record, but it was the first new song on a new studio album that was about to be released, the first one in 10 years. So this was a big, massive comeback, of course. And one thing that I learned from this video, because it was pretty much the first time that I did it, if I, as a content creator, want to have a potentially big YouTube video, I can't make compromises. I have to be quick. The Zeitgeist, a word that you also may know, I have to catch the opportunity. And I did. I filmed the reaction of the music video. I edited that. I uploaded it. And then it got blocked worldwide, and then I edited, tried it again, got blocked again, and I think that was like 3, 4, 5-ish times that I tried different things, and then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna upload this without the music and without the music video. And by the time I was able to upload that heavily edited version of that reaction. It was like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. the night, and I usually would be sleeping at that point, of course, because it was a Thursday. A day later, I was back at work, but I couldn't really focus on working, to be honest, that day, because I was secretly writing a script for, the translation of the German lyrics to Deutschland, explaining linguistic details and analyzing the song linguistically speaking, right? The way you know it. Because otherwise I wouldn't have gotten home and would have been able to record right away, because that is what I did again. Making a video in itself takes time, writing a script, filming, and especially editing. That is the biggest factor in all of that in terms of, how much time it takes to get a video out. Especially when you have text on the screen in multiple languages and colors, and you have to adjust everything for every single example and phrase and word all the time. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, I'm just stating that just takes time. It is what it is. You can't see me in that video because I focused on the quickest way to get that video out as possible. And I think it was shortly after midnight in the early minutes of March 30th, 2019, where I finally was able to release the video, my translation and lyrics analysis video to Deutschland by Rammstein. And I remember waking up on Saturday, March 30th. It was the first time that as a content creator, I experienced something like that. That video, from my standards, was totally going through the roof, was totally blowing up in terms of views and engagement and, comments and likes and whatnot. The numbers were rising so fast and steadily that I was totally blown away. And I think when I woke up, it had like 5,000, 7,000 views, which might not sound much to you guys, but to me, it was a totally different story. I'm doing niche content. It's hard to find a big audience with this, especially these days when the YouTube algorithm is not making things easier for many creators, but that's a different story. Fast forward to March, April 2025, 6 years later, over 460,000 people have apparently watched the video to some degree. It has almost reached 10,000 likes, and it has brought me 2,700-ish new subscribers. Just that video alone. And like I said before, those numbers to me, they are insane. In a positive way, of course. After that video, I was feeling an additional motivation, of course, to make more Rammstein related videos, and that led to me reacting to every single new single release of the album. I also explained, translated every other deep cut of the album, every song that wasn't released as a single, up until the point where I had translated and analyzed the entire album. And I would say, the time period from like late March of 2019 to maybe, I don't know, September, October-ish 2019, like that time frame especially. I mean, that certainly was the most successful time for the channel in terms of, metrics. It has made 2019 the most successful year for the channel so far, with over 1.9 million views and 17,000 new subscribers. So a few thoughts and takeaways. I was lucky that Rammstein released a comeback single after so many years without releasing any new stuff, and that, in itself being a big thing. And of course, there's always luck involved. I mean, let's be honest here, I am totally aware of that. However, what I also take away from this is I took the opportunity. That was my decision. That was my part. I would almost bet that I was the first person, the first content creator worldwide that actually made a full translation of that song and mixed with a full linguistic analysis of that song. There was also like a big factor in all of this, a big advantage, a big benefit. Then again, I wouldn't really want to have this as a regular thing, like with every single video, simply because I think that at some point you get so used to that and those numbers that it is even more difficult to cope with the times when the numbers may not be as high. I've been doing YouTube since 2011 in total, because I also have another channel called Dave Dern TV, which is a German Let's Play channel, still running by the way. Maybe it has to do with age or maturity, I don't know, with experience when it comes to being a content creator. I was 27 when this happened. If I had been 13, 14, 15-ish, I don't know if I would have reacted the same way. Nothing against teenagers, of course, but maybe I wouldn't have been as reflected, because it was a strange mixture. I was totally enjoying that time, of course, totally. And at the same time, in the back of my head, I knew that one day this will be over. This won't last forever. I don't know if you have been around, you watching this right now, if you have been around back in the day and you have watched those types of videos, and especially the Deutschland one when it came out, or if you've just discovered my channel today. What I want to say is thank you. Thank you very, very much for your continued interest, for watching my videos in the first place, whether it's this or one of the other 780-ish videos on this channel. I'm humbled, I'm really glad, and it means a lot to me. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching. Definitely tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.